Hello, everyone. This is MeasureCast, the data-driven way of digital marketing show. And today is our fifth episode. And if you want to check other episodes, go to our YouTube channel, which is Measure School. And we have a very interesting topic today. And I have to say, this is a hot topic: communicating GA4 to clients. So you can be super technical, but it's also important to know how to talk to clients and how to kind of sell projects to them. And I don't like using the word selling because it's also about sharing your knowledge and your passion. And we have a very special guest, and this is David, and he's the operations manager at Measure School. And he is definitely a jack of all trades. So he can do everything, as he's the one who is in charge of talking to clients at Measure School. So I'm super happy to have you here today, David.
Hey, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm doing well. And you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So every week you come with a new T-shirt from a new conference. What one is this one?
This one is an older one. Actually, this one is from Copenhagen, so you can see it.
Ah,
But the last one that I attended was in Berlin, so Magic Camp Berlin, and it was amazing. This was on 25th of June.
hmm. How many people were there?
Oh, like many. It's difficult to say. I cannot say the exact number. But yeah, it was full. So, you have separate rooms and you have time slots and you can go to any presentation you
Mhm.
like. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I was reading on Twitter actually about a bunch of people that attended and saw a lot of the posts, and people were just amazed at how well it was run, how organized it was. You got a lot of content into one day, so it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is a brilliant event. And I can say this is the most wonderful event I've ever attended, like in any city. So you can go to any magic camp and you can be sure that it will be amazing. You just sharing knowledge and see the passion, because selling is not allowed there, because this is
hmm
not about selling at all. It's about the true passion. And I just get it so inspired each time looking at those people, because everyone is exceptional, everyone is so talented, and they just the presentations they give, I cannot even see how like happy I am talking about it. But
Yeah,
I definitely
no,
recommend going there.
definitely can tell your excitement when talking about it. From what I saw, it seemed like there was a nice balance of courses too, like for beginners, intermediates, advanced. Everybody had something that they could really watch and learn from.
Yeah, they respect everyone. So no matter what your level is, either you're like complete beginner or you have 20 years of experience, it's absolutely fine. Even if you're a beginner, you can give a presentation. You can simply mark it because they give session cards and you just have to mark that I'm a beginner or this is a session for beginners. But it's also like everyone shows respect, and everyone, if you're a beginner, everyone is willing to share knowledge with you and to encourage you to grow.
That's great. And would you say that you get to meet a lot of people, like so you can follow those connections throughout your career?
Yeah, absolutely. This is also a brilliant event for networking, and I was really like happy to have met so many people. The one that people I who I'm how who I look up to. So I'm reading their blogs and I'm learning from them, and then seeing them live. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Is this for real? Is this happening to me? So yeah, absolutely.
That's great. That's great. I am looking forward to attending one soon. Um, I did a few years ago in Tokyo. It was a little bit challenging because most of them were in Japanese language, but they had a few that had English. What they did is they put TVs up and they had the presentations going, and they did English subtitles. So it was a fun time. But I'm happy to head over soon and catch one in your area of the woods as well.
So basically, Magic Camp takes place in different cities, and you can also have presentations in local languages, but they tend to make everything in English. because the event gets more and more international. And this is why even in Germany, most presentations were in English, because there were, like, I guess, more than 40% of people coming from outside, not from Germany only.
Yeah.
And me as well,
Yeah.
too. I came from
That's
the
right.
outside.
That's right. You had a little bit of a drive, I heard.
Yeah, 7 hours, 8 hours.
Oh, that's good. I think one of the things that always has stood out with these type of conferences is that there's no selling allowed. I think we've all been to, conferences, seminars, whatever you want to call them, and people give away information, right? But only like half of their presentation is really about giving away the information, and the other half is about selling whatever product they have. And it's a little frustrating when you go to those and you're kind of pitch after pitch after pitch. And from what I understand, these, it's just like people coming and just giving the best things that they know and saying, here, like, I'm sharing with the world. I want you guys to be able to take advantage of it. And it's one of the things that I just love about the analytics community. The data community is very free sharing. Whenever a new idea comes or something happens, people share it amongst themselves and use it. So that's really cool. That's nice to know that you can go there and understand that you're going to come away with at least 3 or 4 takeaways that you can use on your daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about selling, as I
Yes.
mentioned in the very beginning, when you're talking to clients, you're not selling, right? I don't like using this word, because we also share knowledge and share passion.
Mhm.
And just my question to you, because you're always doing this in such a good way, what is the secret of your brilliance? How do you communicate GA4 to clients in such a good way, so that everyone just wants to get a project?
Well, thank you. Uh, you're probably giving me a little bit too much credit, but
No,
I
it's
think
true. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to, sorry for interrupting, but I forgot to say that David has more than 18 years, 18, correct me if I'm wrong, in the realm of selling.
yeah. So for me, just talking to people and teaching them, trying to give them as much information as they need to make a business decision, I guess, is the way I've always approached it. Rather than worry about, what the end goal is, worry about what you're doing up until that point. So if you are talking to somebody and you would like them to be your client, I would give them like the best information I could to help them. I would help them without expecting anything. And I think what you'll find when you help people, that they genuinely want to work with you then. And so it's never about sales, it's about the relationship. They're like, I know this person is looking out for me. Like, they gave me this tip and this tip and this tip, and they didn't ask for anything. And so when I need help, I'm going to go to them because I know they're going to help me, not take advantage of me in any way. So I think that's the key. Like, and you opened that way. It's not really about selling. It's more about educating. It's more about helping. It's more about caring. I guess empathy for what they're going through. And if you do that, then they're going to naturally want to work with you because you'll build up a really good relationship. And that's just what I try to do with everybody, is build that relationship up.
Yeah, I cannot agree more. And I think the same applies to life, right? To any
Yep.
relationship. So it's about empathy and about helping. So this is true. And the same in business, because this is what
Yep.
makes you stand out, when you have also this human aspect.
Well,
And
I just wanted to jump in. Look at
yeah,
Julian. Obviously our founder, Julian. He built his whole business on giving away some of the best information he had on YouTube. Right? Like,
yeah,
he freely gave. We still give. Like, you can learn how to do all this stuff for free, going through our YouTube channel. I mean, you're probably not going to get the in-depth knowledge that you need to, but you can get so far with just the free information that we give away, and other creators as well that are in our realm. Everybody gives away a lot of really good stuff so that you can build that relationship up.
yeah, I think because they also love what they're doing. And this is why it's a great
Yeah,
pleasure to create content and to share knowledge with others, because I can help someone out there, and I feel happy about it too, when I write something and it can help someone with a case.
absolutely. Yep. Well, on that point, for instance, within the next few days, we're going to be releasing a free course on how to sell GA4 products. And so anybody can sign up for that. It's going to be basically 4 really solid videos that's going to walk you through the process of what you should do in getting a client. And we give that away for free, so that people can go out there and be successful. Because the more people that are successful, that are showing the data and measurement to businesses, the more the entire industry grows. And that's what we all want. So.
Yeah, this is true. And now we are also having this considerable increase in leads. And the question to you, so you will be covering this in the course for sure, but maybe a sneak peek right now. How do you start conversations with clients, like talking about GE4 projects?
Yeah, so I mean, I recommend giving value, just like we've been talking about. So let's just say that you have somebody that you'd like to work with. I would definitely follow them on social media, understand what they do, what they're about, who they are. And if you find something that they need, then that's a natural lead in for you to open a conversation with them. So generally speaking, we'll give away that information, and then people will come back to us and be like, "Hey, we need this done. Is that available?" And so it's a very natural process. To give you a more specific example, let's say you go to their website and they have Universal Analytics installed, but they don't have GA4 installed. Well, it would be very natural for you to explain to them, maybe shoot them an email and say, "Hey, I see that you have analytics set up. That's great. However, there's going to be a switchover coming very soon. Have you looked into GA4? We recommend that everybody do this right now. If you have any questions on how to do that, just get a hold of me." It's a pretty simple cold email or direct message on social media. And some people will respond and be like, "Yeah, we heard we need to do something. Can you help me out?" And then you can send them over, a PDF, or we have a GA4 migration checklist that we use. You can give them some information, and then that starts building up that process. So that's just the easiest way, is give value.
Yeah, true. And talking about the words switch and migration, yeah, because from the technical perspective, I don't feel very enthusiastic about using the word migration.
Yeah.
And people should also understand that this is a new tool, with the different data model. So do you recommend using words like switch and migration, or how can you explain this to people like in a simple way? Because many of them can also expect one-to-one migration. This is
Yeah.
like what many clients actually think right now, that this is possible.
Well, I think everybody is using switch and migration, and so it's probably words that the client will understand. But I think it's imperative that you tell them, what the process is, and that it is not a one-on-one migration over, that it's a new tool. And so we're going to start a new tool, but that's also why we need to do it right now versus, down the road, because we need to build up that information. The AI that's in GA4 also needs to have, months. I think it's 3 months before it can really start recommending properly. So you need to kind of make that move now. Do I agree with you that we probably shouldn't use switch and migration? Yes, absolutely. I don't really like either one of those. However, it does seem to be what people are saying. So when I try to talk to clients, I say I'm going to move from UA to GA4 over a course of a period of time, slowly integrating it, rather than just saying it's a switch, because there is a negative connotation like, oh, we stop using one, we start using the other. And I think we all know that we're just not ready to do that, to move over. It's going to have to take a period of time of learning, time of data, all of that, so that maybe we're ready in like December to fully use the tool the way it should be.
Yeah, this makes sense. And then the question, so for example, we can be super enthusiastic about different codes, some complex setup, and GA4 has also many features and features that are going to be released soon. But should we also explain those complex things to clients, or should we just skip that part? What do you think? How should we communicate this aspects to clients?
Yeah, I would say first, and I know you would do this. This is the way that you've kind of taught the way to do it as well. Is first thing you do is audit. Find out what they're using right now. Find out what's in their universal account, because they may not be using half the stuff that's in there. And I mean, most of the people we talk to, right, like they use two or three key points of information, and the rest of the stuff they don't use, and they probably don't necessarily even understand. So this gives you a chance to set it up properly for them right from the start, so that they have an understanding of exactly what you're trying to do with the data, versus something that was done 3 years ago that's been passed by several people, and nobody even knows everything that's in there anymore. So I definitely would audit the account, and you could probably talk about auditing a little bit better than I can, but audit the account first, then go back to the client, find out what they actually use it for. If they use any of this stuff, there's no reason to switch it over if they don't use it, right?
I've seen many accounts like that. You know, a lot of stuff implemented, but nothing actually being used. So this
Yeah,
is also a good opportunity to get rid of the trash, like the mass that you have, for example, in the tag manager, and to start from scratch. So to start bringing value, to identify what is important for you, and to build up a strategy that would bring you success.
right.
And this is
I
how
think
I view.
I I think those legacy accounts kind of that we talk about that have been like kind of passed on, and are 3, 4, 5 years old. They just have so much stuff in it by now that people don't even really realize, and that can bog your website down, right? It can slow you down. It
Yeah,
can
yeah,
especially if you're using tag managers. So it's better to get rid of some of that stuff if you're not using it.
yeah. True. This is true. And we can see like inside in marriage school that you have had many successful calls already, yeah, because we have many GA4 projects to cover. But now the question is about not maybe success, but about the challenges. So what do you find the most challenging talking to clients about GA4 migration?
Well, the first one you've already brought up, and is like your main point, which is that it is not a one-to-one migration. I think that's probably the hardest topic to talk to them about, because Google's job is to make everything seem like it's super easy. So they get kind of this superficial information that, oh yeah, let's just go over it. All it takes is a flip of the switch, and bam, we can do it. But unfortunately, that is not the case. It's a completely different and new tool that uses events versus the universal analytics. So you got to set up things differently. And so that is probably the hardest thing to talk about. Now, if you're running into a technical client, they already know that, but it's the non-technical people that just kind of read an article that says, hey, we can switch over really easy. Google says this is an easy thing to do, when it isn't actually as easy as that. So when you're talking with people, what do you find is probably the hardest thing?
Yeah, I would agree. This many people
Mhm.
tend to expect this one-to-one migration. So we have to explain that this is like not possible. And do you really need it? Yeah, because you could imitate. Yeah, so you could do something just to imitate it to make it as close as possible to your previous setup. But what's the point of it? Yeah, because the new tool has new features, new capabilities, and you can use the full potential of it. Yeah, also
Yes.
the same when it comes to event tracking, because many clients still want to have category, action, and label and stick to that just structure, and even to bring it to a GA4 setup using those as parameters. But maybe you could just use it in a bit different way and start tracking event parameters, especially if you have developer. But it's like a question to everyone doing the implementation. So it depends. And another problem is maybe that many people are they do not know at all what they can do with G4. Yeah, when we
Hmm.
are talking about non-technical people, and they can feel even a bit scared to use it. Like, why should I migrate? Or maybe I should use a different tool at all. And so you also have to educate people to
Right.
so that they feel more confident using the tool, so that they know how to work with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we do is the educational side of it, right? Like a lot of the videos that you're doing are walking people through that initial switch over, so they have a better understanding, and so they can have that confidence and know that this is going to be a tool that will work for them. And I totally agree with you. Like it's change is hard for humans. They'd
Yeah,
rather
that's
not
true.
change, and so it's our job to show them that it's okay to change a little bit. It's okay to do something new as long as it's going to be better than what you're using right now. And this is definitely going to be better. It's going to take some time, and we all got to wrap our hands around that. But it will definitely be better for them down the road. They're going to get much more robust information from this tool than they've ever had. And so just trust us, take it step by step with us. We'll teach you the whole way, and you'll be fine come next year.
Yeah. But I have to admit, this is like my dark secret. When GA4 was released, I was freaking out. I was like, oh no, I invested so much time in learning, so I know universal analytics. Like, I think that I know it really well. And then just switching to a new one. Oh, so I was also feel I know. Like this part inside of you when you're facing changes, it says, oh, this is so bad. Just go back to your comfort zone and just stay
Right.
there. So I've been there.
Yeah, no, that's totally a normal response, right? The other thing you need to really think about is what are you really trying to learn? Are you trying to learn universal analytics in GA4, or are you trying to learn about your business? Are you trying to learn about data and measurement and what's important in your business? And really, truly, this is just a tool. Both of them are tools for what we're trying to accomplish. And a lot of what Julian and you and I try to speak to people about is what are your measurement goals? Like, what do you want to learn from your data? It doesn't really matter what the tool is, it matters what you can take from that tool and how you can apply it towards your business. And so I know change is a little bit challenging and it's not fun, but by having that change, you're also learning more about how you use that data in different ways you can use that data. And that's just super exciting going forward. Like
Yeah.
thinking about all that we can do now is pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, it's an extremely good point, I have to say. Yeah, because you learn not only a tool, but in this way you gain knowledge and then you can switch to any different tool. Of course, you would have to learn the functionality, but the point here is to know how to work with the data and to know how measurement works. And the principles are more or less the same. Like the
Yep.
interface may be different. Okay, the functionality may be also be different, but the principle, the idea is the same. And if you understand it and you know how to work with it, so this makes you an expert actually.
Yeah, and I've been with technical people like you and Prabha, and the questions you guys ask are always not about the tool, but about what you're trying to accomplish, right? Like you ask, what do you want to learn? And people will say, I want to know how much time they've been on the site, or I want to see how many pages that they've gone to, or how many people go to the sales page and don't finish, right? Those are all things that any tool can do. You just have to understand what you're trying to accomplish, and then we can set it up from there. So it's a very good
Yeah,
point.
absolutely. And then another question to you related to this topic. So, how do you present data or maybe some results of the project to clients? What tools are you using specifically, especially working with non technical people?
I generally use Google Sheets, and I put my information into there. I don't like use a ton of tools when I'm talking with the clients. I try to make copies of the stuff and put it in there so that I can control exactly what is happening when I'm talking with them and what I'm talking about. So like as far as the tools go, I don't do a ton with the tools when discussing that with them. I just talk to them about what they're trying to accomplish and some of the few things that we find important. And from there, we can open it up to other tools. Generally speaking, we'll have a couple calls with the clients where first we understand what they're trying to do and what kind of information they want. And then the second time, we'll go back to them with more of the tools and how we might do some things. So
Yeah, this is true. Then the question is, you're getting so many projects, right? And we can think that this would be a one-time project. Yeah, because everyone now wants to migrate. This is what
Mhm.
we can
Mhm.
see. Everyone wants to switch to GA4. It's super important. It's urgent. It's a very good one-time opportunity for upselling a project. But then the question, how to retain those people? Do you have any strategy for making those people stay with us, or?
Yeah, it's never about making them stay. It's more about showing them what you're going to do. Like have a very clear and concise plan set up. Like this month we're going to accomplish this, and this month we're going to accomplish this, and then like the third month we're going to start training your people so they understand exactly how to use it. And then the fourth month we're going to teach you how to handle the numbers, what the numbers mean. And then the fifth month, and clearly go. So I think it's really good to get people, moved over to the new tool so that they can start getting that data. But that's really just a small portion of what people need, right? Like they don't just need that. They
Yeah.
need to understand a little bit more on how to use it, what is happening. And so we don't, I mean, we will do one-time, moves, like migrations, so to speak. I know we don't love the word, but we will do that for people. But generally speaking, we try to do more of a 3 to 6 month engagement with all of our clients so that they know exactly what's going to be happening, what they're going to learn, which I think is a valuable point, is that you can go to somebody and you can get, moved over to GA4, but are you going to know how to use it? Are you going to know how to do the data? Most likely you're going to have to find somebody to teach you that as well. So why not, have that whole timeline with one person so you can feel comfortable and you can set up calls and so forth.
Yeah, this is great that you're sharing your secrets, like your business secrets. So now people can also use those. And related question. And
Mhm.
so we have the clients who are coming to us, but are you also using some techniques for searching for prospect clients, or how are you dealing with that?
Yeah, so the main thing, there's two ways to do it. The easiest one is to use Tag Assistant, and you can find out through Tag Assistant whether or not they have GA4 already set up. Obviously, if they have GA4 set up, they might have somebody. It's probably not like an easy transition to talk to them, but if you go to their website and take a look at their Tag Assistant, it'll pop up. Yeah, they have Universal Analytics. They may show that they have Google Tag Manager as well. And so you know that, especially if they have Tag Manager, that analytics is important to them, but they haven't made that switch over to GA4 then you can help them do that. I mean, that's like a prime opportunity to help those people out. And then you can also go through the source code. It's a little bit more technical. I do actually go through it. Sorry, this is a shameless plug. I do actually go through techniques on how to find that information out on our free sales for GA4 course that'll be coming out. And there's just a very specific video on exactly how to do that. But you can go and find 10, 15 people within a matter of an hour that probably need your help and services that you can reach out to.
Oh, this is great. This is actually such a simple trick, just checking Tech Assistant. Everyone can do it. Everyone can install this extension. And
Yep.
this is actually an idea for freelancers. You just make a list, find 10 people. Not all of them would reply to you, let's say, but out of 10, three would reply. And then you have three projects. This is a
Yeah.
perfect way to
Yep.
find people and to earn money and just to have fun doing the implementation and to
Yeah. And
practice as
not
well.
only that, yeah, not only that, but get people into analytics more, right? Like that's what we're really
Yeah.
trying to do is just get everybody understanding data and how it can help them. There's no
Yeah.
reason not to use it.
And maybe it's some people afraid, like they might be afraid of contacting or approaching. Do you have any special tips for people who, like, when you talk to them, they don't like your like suggestion or they do not agree with you? Because many people are afraid, of facing criticism. To be honest, me too.
Yeah.
It's just like, but so just how are you dealing with that?
Yeah. So we'll go back to exactly what we talked about initially, and that is by giving value. Don't just send an email and say, "Hey, I want to work with you." send them some sort of a value, like perhaps you maybe take half an hour and just do a quick audit of their website and find out if there's some stuff that could be fixed, or you could, that they need help with. Or send them, if you have a video or a checklist, like, you created a GA4 migration 11 steps article. We actually use that a lot. Like, hey, here is an article, and then we created an infographic about it, and say, we're not asking them actually for anything. We're not asking them to do business with us or nothing. We're just saying, here's some valuable information. You do need to do this at some point. Please read this and understand, what's happening. And I think if you just give value, they people that want help will, come back. But what can people be mad about? Mad that you helped them? No, they can't. They can't get mad. A lot of people will thank you. They may not be, go to be with your client, but you know what? You've helped them and they appreciate that. And, you're helping the universe is a good thing. It always comes back to you.
Thank you so much, David. And thank you guys for joining us. If you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up and you can watch the next episode right here. So have fun exploring GA4 and see you next time.